I have a scene early on in my book New Dam Silver Souls. Actually, in very first, maybe second chapter, I have a moment where basically it was more of a painting and it was very anime-esque opening, which I'm gonna take this part out where, or at least change it where there's this cowardly nobility officer who threatens one of our protagonists, Annie, who's a young woman who got married. S- Not necessarily against her will, but she just got married to a guy that she never met before. She agreed to marriage before she even met him. More on that later. And she's here now in mercenary camp in another world. There's magic and killers, things that she never comprehended. She makes little mistake, or rather, no, I remember she's carrying water. This scared, cowardly nobleman bumps into her. Argument ensues. He threatens her, and then our here one of our main characters, in fact, protagonist's wife, also one of the leads, shows up and just breaks his teeth with pen and acts like nothing happened. And I had previous video when I don't like how I steal spotlight from her, but this is supposed to be showing how brave Mia is. Yeah, then turns into showing how awesome her husband is. Different video. Point being, what happens is that things escalate, and this nobleman actually start reaching for his sword and threatens this unarmed woman. Thank God it stopped before something happened, but I really feel guilty about it. It's a silly thing, but I like to make every character seem like they have something going on their own. Like even the greatest villain, he's hero of their story. And some people are against it, but I really like when every character feels like hero of its own story, even this cowardly nobleman. So what I'm gonna do in next draft is I'm gonna go into, and this would be, I wanted to do it just for my personal pleasure and believing it makes better reading experience, but I realized it would be useful in overall story and setting and world building, and I'm gonna translate it into writing tip right away. Sometimes you can make characters act irrationally when you showcase that those characters are effectively forced to uphold some sort of honor or peer pressure. Now, today's, I hate characters who are like Ned Stark or Sadly at one part in Persona 3 Answer, which is expansion I absolutely hate. One of the best video games ever made with terrible expansion. Mitsuru starts going honor before reason, and that's just stupid trope. If you just said that character is doing stupid things because honor, or character is doing stupid things because family, or character is doing stupid things because blank. It's lazy writing, it's not enough. But when you go just a little bit deeper on that, when you explain two faults, basically three. One, it could be negative, but this character is actually under peer pressure. If he, maybe this nobleman, maybe if he didn't threaten Mia back, if he would see like two commoner women can actually talk to him, like, because similar to real life actually, mercenaries were back to come here. Mercenaries do respect people who hire them, but they also basically live in their own community. Mercenary camp is like nation on wheels or country on wheels. They have their own law enforcement. That was in real life. They have own people who are basically doing judgment between groups. So they don't respect this guy, but we can make it negative where there's a risk and worry that if he doesn't show his ground, he doesn't threaten those two unarmed women, if he doesn't at least act like his tough big nobleman, his soldiers might disrespect him and leave. His wife might leave him. His father could cut him out of heritage. And he other soldiers, commoners who follow him to battle, might not take his orders, and that might actually be bad for everyone. Maybe this guy is coward, but maybe he's smart. And if they disrespect him in the middle of the battle, they might get everyone killed. Positive is that maybe this guy didn't have abusive family or wife. Maybe he loves his father, he loves his wife, and loves his kids. And maybe he knows that if rumors start spreading that he's covered and he lets people walk over him, and that he lets commoner women just punch him in the face and don't retaliate. His son might get kidnapped, his wife might get raped, his parents might get killed or challenged a duel because everyone now thinks that this guy is weak. And hey, if he lets some just foreign mercenary wife talk to him like that, there's no way he can stop us from hurting his family. You don't want that, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want that to anyone. And then there could be third option is combination of both. Maybe this guy, we see it's gonna. I need to finish next book that I just started before I go to second draft of this one. So we say few months at least. At fastest I can write book at 2 months, maybe one. Well, I wrote last book in 1 month, but that one was much shorter. Point being, third option is that, like I said, both. Maybe he's mean person deep down. Or sorry, rather, maybe there's pressure, there's peer pressure. Maybe people tell him, "Hey, man, we won't respect you if you let people walk over you." And also, he wants to lead those people. He wants to save the soldier, but he knows he won't save his soldiers if they won't lead him. Sorry, if they won't follow him. So this mess up situation, man. On the surface, it's a guy who's ready to pull a sword at unarmed woman, but when you get into his thoughts and his background, we might find out that this he might feel like he's forced to do it. Either way, writing tip, I would say that you can use peer pressure both positively and negatively to justify irrational or even mean acts of your character and make them seem like some characters who even do evil acts are victims of circumstance. If you like this tip and if it's in any way useful to you, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I wish to grow it and it would help me a lot. In the meantime, hope I see you next time and stay awesome.